In ancient Sanskrit text, there is a subhashita. Pustakastha toya vidya parahasta gatam dhanam karyakale samutpanye nasavidya natadhanam. ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೇನು ಗುರು? ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರೋ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರ ಕೈ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಕಾಸು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಸಮಯಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ಬರಲ್ಲ. ವಾ 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 ವಾ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಗುರು. ನನಗಿವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಸೂಪರ್ ಗಾದೆ ಮಾತು ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಹೇಳ? ಹೌದಾ? ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳು ನೋಡೋಣ. ರಿವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಕಾಸು ಗಾಳಿಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಉಸು ಎಂದಿಗೂ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಅಡಚ್ಚಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದ್ರು ಈ ಮೂದೇವಿನ? ವಾ, ಸರಿ ಹೋಯ್ತು. ನೀ ಎಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ರಿವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ? ಯಾವತ್ತಾದರೂ ನೀ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳೋದು ಗಾದೆ ಮಾತೆ ಅಂತ. ಹೆಂಗೆ? ಇವನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮುಗಿದೋಗೋದೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಅವರ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್, ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. In our previous session, command line arguments, we first saw the industry standards for using any operator in Java. A space on the left and a space on the right is a mandatory thing for any operator to make your code look neat and clean. We saw why industry standard conventions are important, as it reduces the number of maintenance hours in a company. We then started to see command line arguments, wherein we understood string args parameter in our main method helps us to retrieve the input values from the command line to the program as string literals. In the program command line demo 1, we saw by passing 3 input strings ring, ringa, roses in the first round and ding, dong, bell in the second round gave us 2 different outputs each time the program was invoked. Inputs in the command line must be separated by a space, as the delimiter to separate the inputs is nothing but the space between them. In the program command line demo 2, we saw how addition of 2 numbers is processed through command line arguments. In today's topic, we will be seeing a very important building block which is very essential for your programming career. Now take down your books and start making notes as I teach you control statements.
Building block number 8, control statements.
Control statements are statements that tweak the control flow of a program to give it an alternate flow. Control statements in Java are of 3 types, that is A. Conditional statements, B. Looping statements, and C. Branching statements, also known as jump statements. All 3 are very important and it is impossible for me to explain everything in one single class. I am taking so much effort to explain these topics in detail, just because videos what you see and narrations what you hear will always be in your memory. Understand this. Knowledge present in your books will be of no use until you implement that in a right place. In fact, I started my class with a shloka which said, knowledge present in books and money given to others will never come and save you when you are actually in need. A good programmer will be always visualizing the code which is to be written while he is hearing the program requirement. That is the reason I am using video as a medium to teach, so that you can visualize the code every time you hear a program requirement. You all don't know the quality of programmers those are being generated today. I have seen many qualified IT engineers with 4 years of experience. For every concept they go to Google, copy paste the code here and there, and they are only fit to do some dirty patchwork which no one is ready to accept as code.
Oh no!
You wanna be like them? Go to some Dabba institute and do some crash course and directly join a company. Karma. Nobody will teach like how I am teaching, that too from basics. Go to companies, you will understand. They will show you a nice PowerPoint presentation for 3 days and ask you to code the next day. ಆಗಿರೋದು ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ನಿಮಗೆ ನಿಜವಾದ ಬಗ್ನಿಕೂಟ. ಗೂಗಲಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಕೊಂಡು ಹಿಂಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ us not waste much time. Let us start seeing our first subtopic, conditional statements.
Conditional statements in Java.
Consider int a is equal to 15, int b is equal to 17, int c is equal to 18 and int d is equal to 17. Now suppose we have a scenario, if b equality d is true, I want to perform something specific, and if it is false, I want to skip certain statements and move on with the rest. To support such scenarios, we have the conditional if statement which executes certain set of statements only if the condition provided is true. Now it is time to demonstrate the conditional if statements in Java. In my computer, go to D drive, workspace, and then go inside our basic examples folder. Create a new folder 07 control statements, and inside this create a new Java file bearing name control statements demo1.java. Now type the program as shown here with line to line and letter to letter accuracy. During runtime, after you press Ctrl 2, the program control searches for our main method and starts executing it line by line. In the program, initially int a is initialized to 15, int b is initialized to 17, int c is initialized to 18, and int d is initialized to 17. Till line number 9, the declaration of all our variables will get executed, and in line number 10, we have our conditional if statement for the relation b equality d. Once the program control reaches line number 10, the resultant of our relational statement turns out to be true. As our condition of the if statement relates to true, the program control now enters the block and executes all statements present inside it line after line. Once the entire block gets executed, the program control exits the block to line number 14 and then moves on to execute our other statements below till it reaches the end of our program, that is line number 17. Okay, now that is for our if condition being true. What if our relational statement turns out to be false? Now consider the same program conditional statements demo 1 with the only change in our conditional statement. Now if we run the program as it happened before, till line number 9 declaration of all our variables will get executed, and in line number 10 we have our conditional if statement for the relation c is less than or equal to a. Once the program control reaches line number 10, the resultant of our relational statement turns out to be false. Now this is the time our program control directly jumps to line number 15 where our conditional if block has ended. From here on, the control moves line after line, executing the statements below as shown in this illustration till it reaches the end of our program. The conditional if is the basic of all control statements you see today. The condition inside decides what flow the program control should take when it reaches that particular point. Now at this point, a challenge awaits you. A challenge by name, wait for it.
Predict the output.
Predict the output of the program for various conditions given below. In our program over here, we have a if condition and two SOP statements, one inside the if block and other outside the if block. Try out the program and verify the output for various conditions given below. The following assignment will help you get a steady grip on relational operators and our conditional if statement. Time to move on with our next control statement, conditional if else statement.
Conditional if else statement.
Consider variables int a is equal to 15, int b is equal to 17, int c is equal to 18 and int d is equal to 17. We have a relation a less than or equal to c as a condition, and now we have a scenario. If the output of this relation turns out to be true, we need to execute one set of statements. Else, if the output of this relation turns out to be false, we need to execute a different set of statements, which is nothing but the alternative scenario. To support such scenarios, we have the if-else conditional statement for our rescue in Java. In our program conditional statement demo 2, we have the syntax for the if-else condition explained. As we run the program control initially searches for our main method, and then it will execute our variable declarations present till line number 9. In line number 10, we have our if condition bearing a relation a less than or equal to c. As the relation here turns out to be true, the program control now enters the if block starting with line number 11 and then will execute all our statements present inside the block. The program control now will exit the block in line number 14 and will instantly take a jump to line number 20, skipping the else block present in between. From here on, the program control executes the below code line after line till it reaches the program end, that is till line number 21. Now let us try the same program by changing the control statement. In the same program, if a different conditional statement existed like A equality B, the relation then turns out to be false and our program control now will skip the if block and instantly take a jump to line number 15 where our else block is present. Here all our statements present in our else block are executed line after line. Once all the execution of our else block is complete in line number 19, the program control will now exit the else block and continues its execution downwards till it reaches the end of our program in line number 21. I think all of you have understood how if and if else will work after seeing these two programs. But some of you will be still wondering how the control skipped from one line to another line in the program shown. The following control flow diagram will help you eradicate all your doubts. Take a look.
Control flow diagram for if and if else.
In if, the program control initially starts with our main method, in short known as PSVM. The program control now slowly reaches our conditional if statement. If the condition turns out to be true, the control flow then enters the block below and executes all the statements present inside line after line. Once the control flow finishes the execution of this block, it comes out of the block and continues the execution for the remaining part of the program. In the same program, if the condition turns out to be false, the control directly skips the block and rest of the program is executed. Whereas in our if else condition, the program initially starts with the main method, in short known as PSVM, and as it happened before, it slowly now reaches our if condition present below. If the condition turns out to be true, the program control moves inside the block which is present right below it and executes all our statements present inside line after line. It then skips the else block and continues the execution for the remaining part of our program. But if the condition here turns out to be false, the program control skips the if block and enters the else block. In our else block, all our statements present below along with the rest of the program are executed in peace. Dude, in a program if we have one single condition, we need to use the if statement, okay. If we have two alternative conditions, we need to use if else statement, that is also okay. What if we have multiple conditions to check one after the other? How to handle such scenario? Now that's a valid point. The main drawbacks of if and if else are, in if, we can execute things only under one condition. The block here will execute only if the condition turns out to be true. Whereas here in if else, we can execute things under two alternative conditions. Here true leads the control to our if block and false leads the control to our else block. Now what if we have multiple conditions that are to be executed? Introducing the all new else if ladder, which can not just hold one condition, two conditions, but it can hold multiple else if conditions. Multiple else if conditions, how? Take a look at this program. When the program Conditional Statements Demo 3 is executed, our program control initially reaches the main method. In line number 5, we have initialized our variable p to a numerical value 5. As the program control reaches the first control statement if p equality 0 in line number 7, the below control statement is executed and it turns out to be false. The program control then jumps to our next control statement else if, which is present in line number 11, that is holding one more condition stating else if p equality 1. As the below conditional statement also turns out to be false, the program control then jumps to our next consecutive control statement, that is else if p equality 5, which is present in line number 15. The program control when executes this statement and turns out to be true, it enters the block below and executes all the statements present inside line after line. The completion of this block now leads the control directly to line number 23, where our else if ladder has ended. The program control now continues to move forward, executing all statements present below till it reaches the end of our program, that is nothing but line number 25. Now in the same program, if the value of p is 0, the first conditional if block will be executed and the control now reaches line number 23 as seen in this illustration below. Likewise, if the value of p is 1, the second conditional statement, that is the else if block, will be executed and the control later exits to line number 23. And what if the value is not matching any of the below numbers? Well, in that scenario, for our illustration, if the value of p is assigned to a numerical value 10, as usual the program control reaches the first control statement, which will result in false. Then it jumps to the next else if control statement, which will also result in false. The program control now jumps to the next consecutive else if statement, which will again result in false. The program control will now execute the else block starting with line number 19 and exits the chain on line number 23. The program control will now reach the end of the program by executing all statements present below in peace. Dude, the else if ladder was no doubt good, but I didn't understand how did the program control flow. Can you please explain with a control flow diagram? ನೀವು ಕೇಳೋದೆಚ್ಚೋ ನಾ ಮಾಡೋದೆಚ್ಚೋ. Take a look.
Control flow diagram of else if ladder.
Initially, the program control starts with our main method, in short known as PSVM. When the control reaches the first conditional if statement, the condition for the same will be checked. If the result of the condition turns out to be true, the program control then enters the block below and executes all the statements present inside. If the result of the condition turns out to be false, the program control jumps to the consecutive else if statement where a new condition is checked. The same process repeats condition after condition till the program control finds a right condition to execute the block, and that will completely end the else if chain. But if none of our conditions inside the else if chain satisfies, the control in the end reaches the else block, executes all statements present inside, and then exits our end of chain. Dude, can our condition be an integer value or a string literal? No, never. I have seen it for myself that there is a lot of confusion among students as they every time try to feed some random numerical value in the place of conditions. Remember, the condition inside if and else if should always relate to a Boolean value. The possible things which will fit the conditional expressions are: it can be a plain Boolean value, that is true or false, which are valid expressions inside our conditional statement. Likewise, it can be a relational expression that will always result in a true or a false value. It can also be a simple or a lengthy logical expression which will again result in a true or a false value. But please remember, the conditional statement inside small parenthesis can never be a plain integer value, as only Boolean values or expressions are allowed inside. Some people tend to confuse equality operator with assignment operator and write it inside their conditional expression. Please remember, ಹಾಗೇನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪೈಲರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೆರ ತಗೊಂಡು ಜ್ವರ ಬರೋವರೆಗೆ ಹೊಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. Reason being, the above statement can never result in a Boolean value. There are a few Bruhaspatis who directly feed conditions as integer values like A, B, C and D. For those people who do it, this is a clear warning that no variable can be used directly inside a conditional expression unless it is a variable of a Boolean data type. Likewise, no character or string literals are allowed as conditional expression, as this does not relate to a Boolean value. Ting ting ting!
It's program time!
Write a program to find out the given number is odd or even using the concept of command line arguments. Now that's really challenging. P.S. If you are not getting the logic of this program, it is very simple. Odd numbers will have its remainder as 1 when divided by numerical 2, and even numbers will have its remainder as 0 when divided by the same numerical 2. Use our modulo operator to find out the remainder and apply the required conditional statement taught to you. Now, which conditional statement to use here, I will not tell you. Besides, what's fun in revealing the concept what is being taught just today? Think, analyze, write the program on your PC and execute it on your command prompt window. Practicing is the only way how you can achieve your goals. So you know what to do. ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Switch case illustration in Java.
क्या आप निराश हो, हताश हो, बार बार वही एल्सिफ लैडर यूज करके उदास हो? हाँ भाई हाँ, निराश मत होइए, हमारे पास ऐसा एक प्रोडक्ट है जिस पे आप सिर्फ मल्टीपल कंडीशंस ही नहीं और भी कुछ कूल चीजें यूज कर पाएंगे. ओह सो कूल. जी हाँ, आप इस पे बूलियन एक्सप्रेशन की जगह यूज कर सकते हैं इंट, कैर, शॉर्ट, इनम और कुछ मजेदार डेटा टाइप्स. तो अभी फोन उठाइए और स्क्रीन पे दिए हुए नंबर पे ऑर्डर कीजिए 0110111100100. पोस्टेज और हैंडलिंग एडिशनल. ಗುರು, ಟೈಮ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿದೆಯಾ ನಿನಗೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಠ ಮುಗಿಸು ಗುರು.
Switch case illustration in Java.
Consider a switch box with 4 light bulbs. Now to play around with these light bulbs, we have 4 respective switches which when pressed will turn on the corresponding light bulb. That is, bulb A will glow when you press switch A, bulb B will glow when you press switch B, bulb C will glow when you press switch C, and bulb D will glow when you press switch D. Now if we replace the names of our light bulbs to case 1, case 2, case 3 and case 4, the case 1 bulb will glow as you press the switch case 1, the case 2 bulb will glow as you press the switch case 2, the case 3 bulb will glow as you press the switch case 3, and case 4 bulb will glow as you press the switch case 4. Adela sari guru, the bulb example was no doubt okay, but how it is implemented in Java? To view the implementation, take a look at this program. In this program Conditional Statements Demo 4, we have written a code that resembles a switch case which is ditto to ditto the same as you saw in our light bulb example. The program control initially searches for our main method, and then the control gradually moves on to line number 5 where an integer variable p is initialized to a numerical value 1. Now in line number 6, a conditional statement by name switch, when receives its input as 1 in some or the other form, the switch statement shifts the program control instantly to case 1 present below. Once the program control is shifted, it executes all the statements present below pertaining to that particular case. Once all our statement in case 1 gets executed, in line number 11 we have a break statement which breaks the program control from the switch block and transfers it to line number 24. From here on, the below statements are executed as usual in peace. In the same program, if we change the input value, that is, change the value of int p to numerical 2, in line number 6, our switch statement transfers the control instantly to case 2 starting with line number 13. From here on, the below statements are executed one by one, line after line, till it reaches the break statement in line number 14. Break statement now breaks the switch block and transfers the program control to line number 24. From here on, the below statements are executed as usual in peace. The switch case works exactly the same for value p equal to 3, where case 3 present in line number 16 will be executed. Likewise, for the value p equal to 4, case 4 present in line number 19 will be executed. But dude, what if the number doesn't match for any case? What if we change the value of p to numerical 10? If we change the value of p to numerical 10, as no case will match the current switch input, the program control gets instantly transferred to a default case, that is line number 22, where all the statements present below are executed in peace. Break statement here for our default case is not required as it is our last case defined. The program control now comes out of the switch block to execute the rest of the program as usual in peace. Dude, I have a question. What are these break statements anyways? Why are we using it in our switch case? More on break statements you will be learning when I am teaching you branching statements in Java. For now, just understand a break statement helps a program control to come out of the block instantly. In the program that we have illustrated, if we remove all the break statements present, the program control will never come out of the switch block till all the other unwanted statements below are executed. Suppose we initiate the first case, all statements below till the end of the switch block is executed, which actually doesn't serve any purpose. Here is a small illustration of our switch statements with break and without break. If we have provided proper breaks at the end of every case, only the required bulb is lit. Whereas if we have not used any break statement in between, the consecutive light bulbs for all cases are lit, and this doesn't serve any purpose for our defined switch. Dude, what is the advantage of switch block over else if ladder? Well, that is the most commonly asked interview question these days. The else if ladder only checks for Boolean conditions, whereas in our switch case, other literal values which are prescribed for our switch statement can be used. Come on, let us start seeing various data types that are compatible with our switch statement.
Data types compatible with switch case.
In other conditional statements like if and if else, the condition to be provided should be of only Boolean data type. Whereas in switch, the compatible literals are int, which we already saw in our current program. We can also have input and corresponding cases defined as short literals, and some programmers would like to keep their case names as char literals, which are also completely valid. In brief, the compatible inputs for switch statements are short, int, char and enum. In Java version 7 and above, even string literals are compatible inputs that can be used to name our switch cases defined. In our today's class, we first saw if else, else if ladder and switch case statements, which belong to the category of conditional statements in Java. Control statements overall in Java are subdivided as A. Conditional statements, B. Looping statements and C. Branching statements. In conditional statements, first we have conditional if statement, which when fed with a Boolean condition executes the block or skips the same once and for all. If the condition turns out to be true, the corresponding block will be executed, and if the condition turns out to be false, the program control skips the block and move on with the flow. In alternative condition scenarios, we have the if-else conditional statement. Here when the condition turns out to be true, it executes the if block, and when the condition turns out to be false, it executes the else block. In case of multiple condition scenarios, we use the else if ladder, where it can take multiple conditions one after the other and later exits the chain if any of the block above is executed. Then we saw the switch case illustration in Java that can take inputs of literals which are of type short, int, char, string, enum, where the program control gets transferred to the corresponding case and will be instantly executed. Please note, adding break statement at the end of every case is a logical requirement. If not added, you will not be getting any compilation error, but the below cases, which are completely useless, will be executed till the last line of your switch block.
Okay.
There are certain things which you need to keep in mind before you use conditional statements in Java. The statements you use, that is if, else, switch, case, break, are pure keywords in Java. Always use lowercase alphabets while writing keywords, else you will get a solid compilation error. The conditions for if and else if are always provided inside small parentheses. If you tend to miss any of the small parentheses, you will get a compilation error right on your face. Make sure all blocks containing the statements which are to be executed are enclosed with proper amount of flower braces, else you will get a compilation error. You commit silly mistakes by missing semicolon and flower braces. Later you come to me crying, nange error bentu, nange output bartha illa. Please note, the condition inside if and else if should always be a Boolean expression. Illa andre compiler ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಯಾರ ತಗೊಂಡು ಜ್ವರ ಬರೋವರೆಗೆ ಹೊಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಹುಷಾರ್. For switch case, use only compatible literals as inputs and also for naming your cases as well. Else, you will get a series of compilation errors which you don't want that to happen. Understand one thing, the program control always moves sequentially line after line from our main method, which is the starting point of our execution. Conditional statements will definitely alter the flow of a program, and a programmer should always be aware of all alternate scenarios while using them. The sole purpose of SOP statement we use is for debugging and tracing the control of a program. So my kind advice is, use it effectively and efficiently to know where the program control is flowing. In my programs, you might have noticed I have used sufficient number of print statements like inside if, outside if, blah blah blah. Practice from now by using appropriate SOP statements wherever it is necessary. Else, you will literally die searching for errors while coding your server-based applications. Hushar.
Oh no!
So that's it for today. We have ceremoniously ended the topic conditional statements. One thing you would like to hear from me is the above examples what I am teaching are just basics. When I am moving to your advanced topics, I will be using each and every concepts in your advanced programs, and there I will be not repeating again. So when I am teaching in depth, It's your duty to learn what is being taught. Make proper notes for every step I tell you and program every piece of code what I teach you in my class. Feel free to ask your doubts on WhatsApp if you are stuck somewhere so that we can solve it for you. Remember, you understanding the subject is our topmost priority. Subscribe to this channel to stay updated for our next video release. Till then, this is Balaji.K.R signing out. See you soon. Muchkond Code Madi.